Good morning. My name is Reverend Annie Batchelder, and I am an Akashic channel. My channel in the Akashic Records, and I channel outside the records. I channel a lot. um, I'm a psychic and a multimodality healer, I guess you could say, and I'm here to do live channeling just for you. I ask you to bring your question so that I can channel an answer for you. That's your homework. You got to bring me a question. I thrive on questions. So I'm really looking forward to working with everybody and being somewhat useful to you. You're my favorite people and I adore you, and it's all about making your lives better. And it gives me something else to think about, because if I'm thinking about me and how my hip hurts and all that, I'm then I'm thinking about self, and then I'm not really in the lap of the divine. And that's where I love to be and where I want to be. So I'm so glad that you're here. Good morning, Ward Wilson. Hey, how are you? What's happening? I hope you're doing well. I think I'm going to just open this whole session with some affirmations, and I suggest that you repeat them after me. I and my soul are one. I trust my inseparable soul to love me no matter what transpires. The more I merge with my soul, the more healed and whole I am. Thank you, soul. Thank you, great creatress. My soul assists me with solutions, insights, and inspiration. My soul never abandons me. I trust my inseparable soul to stand by me. My soul has never and will never reject me. Unified with my soul, I easily trust that I am being divinely guided. This holds me steady and aligned with my divine purpose. The present moment is the only moment of power and interest. I affirm that this is a friendly universe in which I intrinsically belong. Receiving my divine instructions for this day. All thoughts, words, and deeds that most serve the divine and others arrive pre-formatted with your impeccable timing, love, and strength of purpose. As I assimilate unification with my ever-loving, ever-loyal soul, and as I identify as my soul, many wonders become available. That's a good start to the day. I'm really looking forward to helping some people here. Oh, Shannon, you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay, let's see. Shannon says, finally talked to my daddy today, 9 months. My heart is hurting. I feel overwhelmed. I feel you, Shannon. So in this case, just be with the feelings of being overwhelmed and your heart hurting and that ruling your world, and just let it be. Don't fight it, because it will just persist. You know that thing of what you resist persists. It's really true. So the more that you can allow yourself to be in the space of having a hurt heart and being overwhelmed after your conversation with your father, just let it be and offer this pain and this overwhelm and this upset to the divine. Give it to her. It's bigger than you, and it the best, most powerful remedy is to be in it and to be calling the divine to help you in your time of trouble. You know, the divine is unlimited. She can do anything. And it's important that we ask for her help all the time. I swear, the more I ask for help, the more I receive help. And don't I can't muscle through things anymore. It's like I gotta just be where I am and call in my soul and call in the divine. That allows me the possibility of increasing my trust in the divine, being more unified with the divine's will for me, and less struggle. I got to hand over my capacity for struggle. You know, I'm a worker bee. I can work hard at stuff, but when I'm overworking and trying to muscle things into place, problems crop up around that rather than it being easier or smoother or more in alignment with divine will and better for not just me, but all the people whose lives I touch. So, yeah, we learn really through harsh lessons and painful situations that it just, we can't do without the divine. Literally, you can take your heart, put it in the palm of your hands, and take this bleeding, broken thing and take it from me, divine. I give this to you for repair. You designed it this way. I give it to you. I know that you're the only one who can make it right again. I would also say, oh, you took stress disability from all. Well, I'm not surprised, Shannon. There's been a lot of stress and a lot of loss in your world lately, and I feel for you. That is not easy. And you're not going to change your dad. He's who he is. You're who you are, and you can't fix him so he'll be what you want him to be or give you the responses you'd like to have. Just you've got to just like say, okay, this is the deal. I chose this dad. My soul chose this fella to be my dad for all the right reasons, probably to show you how strong and intelligent and worthy you are. So, yeah, you took a little time off from working for Betty. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let me just, I want to go back to how do I get let's see. I I saw Cheryl Mollick. Did you have a question? Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, all these wonderful people who are here. We had a good big group today. I'm appreciative of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm asking today if you all would help me a little bit. I injured myself on August 10th. I fell and hit my hip on the left side of my left hand, and um, got my back a little out of whack, and so my lower back and hip and my inner thigh on the left leg really hurt while I'm walking and just sort of ache all the time. I'm icing and I'm using the cloud mat from goodness, I forgot the brand name. Anyway, it's an electromagnetic frequency machine, and it helps speed up the microcapillary circulation. I'm putting CBD oil and muscle pain assistance on it. Have the diffusing valor, the essential oil blend, but I need some help healing. If you would all pray for me, I would really appreciate it. It's odd to be asking for your help when I'm here trying to give you some help, but I can still channel because I do that no matter what. So let's see. Cheryl says, oh, Annie, sending love and healing. Thank you. Thank you. Shannon Altman says, not going back. Shannon, could you be more complete? Are you not going back to Dad or to Betty? Or you're, I would say if you could modify that stance to you are open to being directed, spiritually directed in a direction that is most serves your higher purposes in this life or your soul's purposes in this life. So you're open to being spiritually directed to what most serves your soul's purposes in this life. And it may be that this is exactly the right move for you. Good. I hear you. You can do massage. Amen, sugar. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. You know, seems like you're really at a turning point. And it's funny when we choose to do these things that usually it's out of, well, partly out of survival and partly out of this is what it takes for us all to get in alignment with the divine's will for us and our soul's purposes. You know, like we come up against some concrete wall that it just can't be breached or bent or adjusted, and we can't keep twisting ourselves into pretzels trying to please other people. You know, we just have to be with where we are. So, my darling Pat Hansen, sweetheart, do you know how much I love you? She says, I'm having a health issue. Is it serious? Deep cut on finger and pain in abdomen. Well, these two things are, I'm looking to see if they're separate or they're related. Wow, okay. During the process of getting the deep cut in your finger, you picked up a bad bug. And I think you need to be sure to keep this finger incredibly clean and possibly twice a day put tea tree oil on it and diffuse frankincense to elevate your spirit and elevate your overall body's abilities to heal itself and to maximize your own healing abilities, Miss Pat. Um, um, so, and pain in your abdomen. Is it the upper abdomen, like more where your stomach is, or is it lower down? I I don't know if you're a popcorn eater, but um I'm reminded of a situation where my mother had pain in her abdomen for quite a few weeks, and it turned out it was like a husk, that little golden colored peel on the outside of the popcorn before it's popped or after popping, that sometimes gets stuck in your teeth. Well, I think it got stuck in her guts, and it took a long time for that to be assimilated and removed and expelled. And I think that's one thing. But I do think that you could use a good overall body unification on getting your systems back in alignment. Um, I just feel like there's just, you need some exterior help. I think if you can get to your favorite acupuncturist, that would be very helpful, Pat. If not, I've been seeing Dr. Barbara Custer in Mill Valley. Yeah, Custer, like Custer's last stand. Dr. Barbara Custer is really, really a wonderful acupuncturist. She's so knowledgeable and so intuitive, and she's so fun and loving, and she just is such a human being, to be with while she works on you. And she really takes her time and kind of layers the treatment. So, you know, some people go put the needles in, take your pulses, put the needles in, and a half an hour later you're out of there. Plan to spend a good hour and an hour and a half with Dr. Barbara Custer, because she will take the first pulses and readings on your body and kind of outline the structure, and then she'll let you be with that for a few minutes and then come back and take your pulses again and add some needles and or add some other treatment, whether it's TENS machine or monks or whatever it is. She builds on that. Yeah. So you're saying no popcorn. Okay. Lower right on the well, Miss Pat, I think you should, if it's lower right, you probably got insurance if I know you. I would have it go be seen, because you don't want to have your appendix explode inside of you when you're getting some warnings, like heed the message, you know. Yeah, it does feel a lot like appendix, and I would go there. And even with that, I would say afterwards it would be good to do an acupuncture treatment. Pat says can do all of that. Thank you. Oh, good. Pat agrees. Has an appointment tomorrow. And if it gets bad today, go to the emergency room. That's why they have them. I've had a lot of good service in the emergency room, and it's been much appreciated. And as we age, it's not good for us to let things like an appendix compromise our health. It can be very dangerous. So uh I know a woman whose mother almost died because her appendix burst, and it, it can happen for in a bad way for people of a certain age. And I'm now in that group of a certain age. Good morning. Let's see if I can. Heidi Bamaka, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. There's some wonderful new people with us. It just makes me so happy that these folks are participating. And I'm gonna refresh my page because sometimes the questions you put in there show up after I do that. Good. So we've had some health questions. We've had some how to deal with parental upset and changing work and what gets you to the point of like, that's it, I've got to change, and making the change. And you know, even my spiritual teacher, Dwayne Packer from Luminescence, he channeled Dobbin, and he would talk about heeding the messages early, hint, hint, because then you don't have to wait for the 2x4 about upside the head, and like, oh, my soul or the divine's trying to whisper in my ear, like, what is it I'm being told, and what is it I need to act on? And that little hint could turn into a 2x4 later if it's ignored. And I want you all to beat the divine to the punch before it really gets painful. um and and to that effect, my job next, after we finish here, I'm going to be calling some friends for prayers, for healing for myself, and also to go get some treatment to help me with uh, my injury, and avail myself of what's here. And the folks I know would be glad to work on me. You know, it's kind of that asking for what I need and opening to receive, both from the divine and from the physical world or people, that kind of stuff. So Heidi, you can just write a question in the comments here. I would love to answer it. Whatever question you have is fabulous. It can be about your dog, it could be about your job, it could be about a relationship, it could be about money, it could be about health, it could be about your spiritual connection. And you know, really anything is game. The divine loves questions. And I know working in the Akashic Records, it has been abundantly clear that questions are can openers to the information and the energy. We are energy at essence. And so the Akashic Records tend to be energy first, information second, because the energy can shift things kind of underneath my mind's little commentary and my ego's idea of what it should be like, all that kind of stuff. The light or the energy can get underneath my resistance or my pictures of how things should be, and get to work on me right away, even before before I know what the question is. Or, it can be, why am I feeling like fill in the blank? Let's see. Pat is saying, any insight on the upcoming presidential debate? Bring a sense of humor. This is when having the ability to view this drama, this earthly drama, from a point of objectivity and detachment is really critical. It's very important, and nothing is permanent. Everything's always changing. I don't make a lot of predictions. I'm, you know, I have a 50% chance of being wrong. And I don't know that it helps. I really don't. The last time I looked at like a presidential election was when the first time when he who shall not be mentioned was running for president, and I predicted that it wouldn't win, and I was wrong. So I don't always know. I don't have my finger on the pulse of politics, although I'm getting more informed. What I know about things like the debate and politics is that the outside is a reflection of my inner world. Whatever chaos is going on outside of me is still a reflection of the things that I haven't come to peace with inside me. I know that I may like drama. I may like the entertainment value. I may like the being distracted from what's going on with me by focusing on that drama. I do know that what is really valuable for soul connection and spiritual growth and divine connection is me being as calm as possible, because that is the kind of reality that I'm asking to participate with. And when I can bring that calmness and that love to the outside world, or have that be my contribution, then I'm fulfilling my role, and I'm living my spiritual values by bringing that to bear. My anger, my accusations, my criticism, my judgment of myself and others, whether they're my equals or they're running for president or, you know, somebody I'm having a conflict with, doesn't matter. I need to bring to bear my light and my oneness with my soul and my oneness with the divine. And that is what really is most effective here in this world. Let's see, Cheryl, you did have something. No problem, Ward. I got you. Cheryl says, any advice on how we should all navigate the rest of this year in light of the turmoil in politics? Well, a lot of what I was just saying is the answer to that question too. And you know, mostly when I get out in front of myself too far, I get out in the future, that I get fearful and I'm not happy because I'm sure that something's not going to work out the way I've decided it should. Now, me deciding how it should is kind of, you know, sometimes I get lucky and sometimes I don't. Me being flexible in the moment and being open to divine guidance and divine will for me helps me navigate the next moment and the next hour and the next half a day and the next full day. And the more peace and love and consciousness and expand to include, that whole thing, you know, I'm big on expand to include. This is like my guide's favorite thing to do, to say is, you know, expand to include. Where's my expand to include picture? It's not here. Okay. Everything that I can do to expand, to include, to allow what is so without my judgmental, critical haranguing brings me more peace and puts that in the space, adds to the love, that the ambient love that's available. And, you know, in my world, I come from Alcoholics Anonymous, and one of the things that I learned there is the least voice must be heard. And I think that's an important tenet that's useful. And rather than, you know, I'm right, you're wrong, the least voiced must be heard. And we have to take into our hearts and accommodate all these voices. We get to have boundaries, of course. Yes, that's wise. That's discernment. But it doesn't mean I've got to run away or go after you as in a warlike manner, because we differ in our points of view. More than one point of view can exist in this moment at a time. Believe me. Let's see. Any other advice on how to navigate? So, one of the things about my acronym for fear, because when I get out in the future, I get fearful, right? The acronym that I like is future events already ruined. And as I understand, that's kind of a piece of my human programming. I can also switch it around and say feeling excited and ready. And that helps me at least navigate with a little more peace of mind and a little more awareness of an openness to possibilities. From what I hear and the movement of the planets is, we are ready for the big shift. We are really ready for the big shift. And I don't think it's going to be about domination and control or subjugation. I think it's going to be about really like rising to the challenge of loving more and providing better for ourselves and each other and sharing. Cheryl likes that feeling excited and ready. That's good. The big shift. Well, it's inside. It happens inside us. And then from the inside, it then starts to show up on the outside as a reflection of our insides. So this is where we get to really toe the line. And if I'm not meditating, then I got to start meditating. If I'm not praying for my neighbors, I got to start praying for my neighbors. If I'm still at war in my head with somebody or something from the past, I need to find a way to come to peace with that. You can come to peace with things by having a reading, not just you, Cheryl, but I mean, this whole group. If you're struggling with some issues that keep you up at night, or when that thought comes up, it just gets you going, right? Gets that machinery of revenge or resentment or upset or fear or, if only I had blah, blah, blah. If that's coming up, have a reading with me, because from a soul's perspective and from the Akashic Records perspective, we can probably affect a much needed change, even if it's something that's been very stubborn and staying stuck. And so I think that navigating the future really has to come from that space of curiosity and inquiry and exploration, rather than being codified. It's going to be this way, or it's going to be that way, or it's our team against their team, and we've got to win. I don't believe in this fight stuff with disease or with politics. And that just generates somebody else being more upset. You, me, them, whatever, whoever we call them, the other folks, be more upset. And that's not useful. Expand to include allows me to be in a state of curiosity and discovery about what the possibilities are and what my choices are. So I'm not stuck in my own limited black and white, either or, good or bad, right or wrong, my way, your way, normal human setting. I've got to stretch my mind out and open things up and allow many more opportunities to breathe deep and be relaxed and not be in fear. I follow some astrologers. Pam Gregory, she's a British gal. I like her work, and she often does the astrology of the United States, even though she's a UK citizen. And she looks into how the planets are affecting things like the political landscape, and I think her work is also rooted in how can we bring the most love, light, healing, grace into this world. as human beings? What can we as limited human beings do to bring that in? And she's very, very good. I mean, I get lost in, this planet is conjunct to that one, and this one's making a T-square to that one, and then what all that means, I don't know. I really don't understand that entire language. So I can't tell you what the astrology really means, but it helps. It's one of the things I use as a clue along the way and what's happening. And how to not take it so personally. Sometimes, like when Mercury is in retrograde and I can't get one of my book interior up on a site, or my book cover isn't working out on the Audible audiobook site, I can get stuck there for a long time. Sometimes I just have to wait until Mercury retrograde is done, then things just fall into place. It's like easy magic, right? But my pushing and forcing and fighting and willpowering and muscling it, it's pretty much, I'm the one who's going to suffer on the other end of that stick. It's not a winning proposition. The only times I think I can benefit from pushing or muscling is when I'm exercising, just a little bit more speed in my walk, or a few more at repetitions, or another set of whatever it is, that kind of thing. The body can benefit from that, but also there's that knowingness of knowing when to like back off, buckwheat, because sometimes that's what's really warranted in the situation. Okay, let me just refresh my page, looking at any other questions. You guys bring some good questions. I love the fact that you're looking at all these things and how we can make our lives better. And Cheryl is asking, what does the shift look like? And for me, it is higher and higher levels of unity and oneness with the divine, and working in cooperation with one another. And that's tricky business. It's kind of like relationships. You want to collaborate with some other people. Yeah, I do. And who should I collaborate with? Who's going to have the focus and a complementary way of working that expands, we both expand each other. Who's going to show up on time? I'm really big about showing up on time. I think we should all, I like to show up on time. I'm trained to do that. It's a big part of what is my integrity, as being here week in and week out and showing up on time. But the shift looks like not fighting, not creating enemies. It's finding a way for both sides to feel like they win. Good morning, Margaret Fulgham. Nice to have you. This is wonderful. These are people who have never been on this live before. I'm tickled pink. Margaret, you can ask a question, type it into the comments, and you better get it in here quick, because getting to the end of this. And how do I go about not creating enemies? By being at peace, by not insisting that the only way is my way, by seeing the advantages of somebody else's point of view, or walking in their shoes, for at least a mile. In some ways, it's making allowances, as long as that doesn't make me feel that I have trampled my own boundaries. Yeah, if I leave the gate open, somebody's going to come in. And I'm trying to make that analogy work, and it's not. I'll just stop with that one. Know when you're beat and surrender. And I think that's one of the best ways to cooperate with the divine, is that the divine has the all-knowingness, has the plan in hand. I don't know. I barely know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. And not making things overly difficult for ourselves, not complicating them, situations for ourselves. Trying to find what's most loving for everyone. Well, my friends, you're wonderful. I thank you in advance for prayers for my healing from this injury. I very much need them. I'm open to receiving them. And I pray for everyone's health and wellness and peace of mind. And if I can be of help to any of you, please schedule a reading with me. Go to my website, anniechannels.com. There are scheduling buttons there, whether you want an Akashic Records reading, a psychic reading, a channeling with Anubis, you want a divine energy healing, you need to look into real estate. Maybe it's a place that you're going to rent or buy, I can open the Akashic Records of property or a home, a house, an office, an apartment that's for rent, lease, or for sale on the open market. And we can open the records of national monuments, like, the Grand Canyon, the Lincoln Memorial, whatever. We can open the records of those as well. I also do pre-surgery preparation appointments that help calm your body and prepare your body for the upcoming procedure in a way that allows you to have the highest level of healing and the best result from the surgery. There's nothing wrong with having surgery. Sometimes we need surgery, broken arm. I had a broken wrist and I had to have surgery on that in order to have an exterior fixation. I'm really glad they did that. That restored my wrist to full function. And it wouldn't have been so if it weren't for that. There are times when it pays, other times when it's not as necessary as you might think. But please let me be of service to you in the highest possible way. It's my joy and my purpose. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I look forward to talking to you next week. Same time, same place. And, just so that we're clear, this is my book, Bringing Forth, it's not where it's showing up right on the Zoom. Where do you want it? Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, an Akashic Records Guide to Living a Fulfilled Life. This is the book I channeled, and it's out in paperback, it's an ebook, and it's an audio book. Now, this book is really very meditative in quality, and it expands your consciousness, and it teaches you how to open your own Akashic records and do work in there and do research and ask and get information and shift things on an energetic level, because in the Akashic records, it's energy first, information second, energy first, information second. So this book teaches you how to work in your Akashic records and how to ask questions and to delve into past lives and to release unwanted ancestral influences that may no longer serve you. Um, so and if you want a signed copy, private message me, DM me, because I can send you my Venmo link, and you can send me $30. I will write a special note on the inside the cover and sign this book, and that increases the value of it, and it'll be just for you. But I need to get your shipping address so I can send it to you in the US mail. All right, you all are divine. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate working for you and with you and your attention. Goodbye now.